Hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder, to again a naval battle. And yeah, today we will see what you can do in the middle of the map. Now, don't worry, it's not pure patrol boat seal clawing. Yes, some patrol boat feelings have been hurt in the making of this gameplay, but that shall not be the exciting part. The exciting part is you will see. If you have not been spoiled by the thumbnail or the video title and you just clicked on it, which might be, not very likely, but nevertheless, I tried for those of you who just clicked my videos anyway. Yeah, it was a really nice battle with a lot of wins. Some fails, but then even more wins at the end. And yeah, I was really looking forward to show it to you, since also I played a little bit in the last few days, obviously, to get the tasks done for the achievements to unlock the Russian premium destroyer by playing myself. Not every day I could do that, but most of the time I tried it, and I think the hardest mission for me was to torp 5 enemy people at the battle ratings where I played it. Now, there was there are several tasks and they changed slightly from the initial announcement. Maybe it is a little bit of translation. Deal 25,000 damage while controlling a naval vessel. You do this over time by default. You can do this in 2-3 battles easily, especially if you have a very good ship and you know how to deal it. Then the second task that I always try to go for is destroy 5 cruisers or destroyers whilst controlling a naval vessel or an aircraft. And I think the 15 zones captured and also the 10 victories, they are the ones where you really have to invest a lot of time, but then destroy 5 enemies using a torpedo whilst controlling a naval vessel or an aircraft. That is the easiest to do in my opinion, since you only have to drop 5 torpedoes with the Hellcat, for example, because I play here with the British. Funnily enough, it is mostly the premium ones that are the notoriously most used. So, for example, the Hellcat Mark 2 for the British is very good because of the Mark 13/44 torpedo that you can drop on at insanely speeds as well. And then for the Americans, obviously the BTD-1 destroyer. There are multiple other options, but this is the one that I go for. And 5, dumping the torpedoes the way that I did is very efficient. Your torpedo tubes are empty, you don't blow up as much. And the next thing is that obviously there is a certain chance that you might kill an enemy or so. And it's only 5 that you have to do it. So I look now at the requirements, and player's vehicle rank 2 or 2-4. And the Catalina Mark 3A for the British, I just realized, is rank 1, so fail. And then we have here a strong Russia surviving this salvo, a full HE salvo to the face. My dispersion was too good, so that I only damaged 1 compartment, and it was not a hull break. How convenient for this guy. And he's about to capture A before I can come around the island and deal with him. Problem if you turn at this close range is that you cannot bring your guns on target. I did not really know if he had here any sort of torpedoes ready, so I did an evasive action and then a single shot to the remaining compartment, then dealt with the PT-59. Oh, it was not even a Russian ship. Oh well, who cares? It was still biased. And now we are in A, and this is now, I could talk about hours how flawed the map design is and how ludicrous it is. But honestly, if you play for the win, if you play for just the maximum kills, maximum amount of action, and therefore civil line and RP income, this is where at least 1 or at best 2-3 destroyers have to go. And the thing is, very often people come in for the revenge kills with aircraft, but also to fulfill a mission. And what a juicy target I present. I'm stationary, I'm a lonely destroyer, I don't have proximity fuses, I'm not quite sure if it is that easy to recognize for the enemies or the enemy players, but I just assume it. And yeah, how did it feel? Napalm, you hit me, so I cannot resist. So those aircraft that are flying like this, I'm not quite sure if he has overshot me, but it doesn't really matter, does it? Yeah, there we go. Good stuff. And now more aircraft are coming in, and watch this. He drops the torpedo and I turn in. This is what I always recommend, to also alternate your course, but most importantly, sorry about this, to make your hitting profile much smaller. And what a torpedo beat that was. And so we turn around. We also swing the turrets around in anticipation of another patrol boat counter attack, I guess is the most appropriate way to say it. And you can see how the ship just leans to one side with those tight turns. And at close quarters in particular, this is one hell of a downside, so that the destroyer has to go in a straight line, which makes it very vulnerable to torpedoes, etc. And here I try to do the single shooting or the single shot shooting to hit all the compartments, but one shell missed. But we're about to reload, and there we go. And that's a 20,000 civil line repair bill. I think he feels balanced, right? So much for that. Another salvo of torpedoes gets dropped in my pathway. I assume that the enemy is following the white prediction line like in the other game, you know. So while we hull break him, strangely enough, now this is a hull break. I don't really get the principle behind it. I try to turn into the torpedoes from the rear. Another spread of torpedoes is coming my way, so this is now an enemy pincer maneuver. But again, I turn out of the way. He again trusted the prediction of the white leading line, and so I can dodge the first salvo of torpedoes, and the second one is missing me as well. And I'm just turning in circles, round and round I go. Come on. So can we kill this guy as well? So that's a hydrofoil. They're notoriously difficult to hit. Obviously, if you don't watch where they're going and you miss by a country mile, yeah. So here we damage a little bit the engine already, and we hit the front quite hard, and then he actually sinks. He sinks. What a rare sight in War Thunder ships, that somebody doesn't go blown up or hit by a torpedo. No, he actually sank because I damaged the underside of his ship, which was previously in the air. The damage got, the engine got damaged. He dropped the speed, and another plane is coming. And again, I try to follow through the circle. I hit him with my main batteries, but the bomb is coming in. Oh god, that was an ammo rack in the rear. We have to extinguish the fire. Funnily enough, I'm not flooding. Nevertheless, I still have to do quite a lot of damage control here. And yeah, I have to repair while extinguishing the fire, so that's a long penalty. My crew is decimated quite a bit. And another plane is coming in. And now I have to turn out because of that angle. And he hesitates to drop. He drops too late. I shoot him down. The torpedo is in the water. All my engines are out, but the rudder is still functional. And oh, that's close. That's close. Oh yes, we survived it. Good stuff right there. Come on, just give me a break, man. And there is now another destroyer. I recharged one torpedo, and I think about dropping it just for good measure, because there is a very narrow path, very hot zone for patrol boats with 4 torpedoes to just dump them in a tight pack in there and just hope for the best. So yeah, I think I secured the middle. Yeah, I took quite a beating and I had quite a hard time. The problem is now I'm too fast to engage here the T-22 or the Type 1939. I still tried to make the best out of it. Obviously my rear turret has no ammunition after the ammo rack left, which is kind of a shame because I still could make here 1 or 2 salvos against the T-22 work. Should I brake? Should I accelerate? I don't know. Yeah, I dropped the Torp quite a while ago, and let's see what we can do now about B. Yeah, nothing that I can do. So that was quite a lot of action, and I have to be honest here, a lot of the times it is high risk and high reward, but certain death, with all the planes coming in, mostly 2, 3 at a time. I don't have that ultimate Bofors and proximity fuse package like the Americans have it. I only have a quadruple 40mm. While it is strong, it's not the ultimate solution versus the aircraft spam. And I have to say, it's not a big surprise that a lot of people try it to make it work with all those with all those tasks, that they also think it is the easiest to torp 5 enemies with the planes. Now here is a Fletcher, and I'm not quite sure at how much percentage he is, how easy he is to take out, but I think what I've seen on the minimap previously, he must be quite low. First HE server out, I switch to HE, it's 1%, so I switch to AP, I'm sorry, and I aim for the middle of the ship, and we got another kill. So here's the problem. I know that there is a Heinkel 111, and I think he has a Fritz X loaded. So the best chance is to turn out of it. So for me, or from my perspective, to the left, if you will. And that is now a problem, since I wanted to go into B. And yeah, there is another Heinkel 111, and he gets the Torp off perfectly. And yeah, I think he got shot down here by another tribal, but I think he got wrecked by the torpedo impact, and unlikely that I now get away with it, with winning the match by just leaving the game. So here I go into the Hellcat, the premium Hellcat, and I try my best. Now you might argue if this is now win or fail, but we will see how it goes. So Mark 1344 loaded, and we can go in with insane speed. Sadly, the torpedo has not hit home at the Type 1939, which just got now killed by the Avenger. Also a premium plane. How appropriate. And let's see how it goes. So my tactic is to go low. Strong English, comrade. To go low and just use the island cover from the enemy's anti-aircraft shell, from the anti-aircraft firing, the automatic but also the manual. It saves you especially from proximity fuse shells, and then you just appear out of the island, and you also are not on the radar of the enemy. Now I make here a massive mistake, and I go way too close, and I launch it. Now I assumed that, yeah, he did an evasive action. I should have gone into another position. I want to go out here, but you know, the Frunze is still a Russian ship, and therefore sets me on fire with the third hit. And then obviously I get a direct hit from one of the big anti-aircraft guns. I think he only has one, so yeah, good automatic gunners. And now I go into the Catalina because it has 2 Mark 1344s. The problem is, at the time of the battle, at this time I didn't think that one of my patrol boats could deal with the Frunze. It is still a strong ship, especially with the guns, and it is a tiny target, very maneuverable, devastating accuracy of the guns, that's more like it. Yeah, strong English amplifies. Yeah, I'm a little bit out of the exercise of making videos, as you can tell. The dev server video was done as late as 5 o'clock in the morning. I was really tired. As you can imagine, I did a lot of fishing over the course of the weekend. My cousin is really in for it. I always have to take him with me, and so I checked out a few new locations, talked to some of the guys that I actually also met out on the waters, on the waves of fishing, if you will, and it was nice. So here the Frunze got killed, and appropriately by somebody that is better at doing this than me. And I see here this big ship, but now the K2 got killed. The problem is the PR-183, I guess, is, Well, he's beaching himself. But I didn't know this. I thought he would just go close to the island, and then I would have some problems landing the Torp. And landing a Torp with a plane on a patrol boat, that's more than unlikely. So the question is, what can we do now? Well, there is a destroyer spawning, and now try to turn with that lockup on the Catalina with that speed is not the most fun ever. And there's still the Project 183 with the double, or with the two twin 25mm, if I'm not mistaken. They're quite effective. Good firing arcs, good firing angles, good rate of fire, good elevation. They're just also very effective. And obviously, one shell that hits me sets my engine on fire. And yeah, here I get blown to pieces, but I still can launch the torpedoes. I try to drop them into a tight pattern while I go down. There you can see it, and he turns in. He turns in, and then I see the kill cam, he turns out. What a big mistake. And here I go into the Brave class. Brave class, double 40mm, what a joy, what a balance. Here I got the kill on the Type 1939. It might be the other guy that I previously harassed, but I don't know. So the torpedo indicator points directly, and there I see it, that he is actually beached. I take easily out the rear compartment, and then the... I don't know, this aiming system, man. 12 kills, and that was the final blow. Good stuff right there. Oof, what an ending. The torpedo beats in the beginning, the dodging and the destroying of the planes, 4 in total, 8 naval targets. I tried my best. A little bit of fail here with the torpedo drops, but nevertheless a good battle. Only 53,000 silver lines, but we got also quite a bit of progress on the research. And here you can see that I tried to research the parts bit by bit, just to make sure that I get a lot of bonus RP when the patch drops and the new cruisers get available, because they are the stuff that I'm after. That's it for me today. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening. Please give this video a like, give it a subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll see each other on the waves of War Thunder.